What's up guys, Canada here, and this is a bike maintenance video. On our focus we are now replacing the housings and the cables, and I'm showing you how to do it because that would be one of the most important things to do on your bike after like winter season or just preparing your bike for a new year, for a new season, and also after you are buying some used bikes. Replacing those housings and the cables would give you much better performance in terms of shifting and braking. I already did replace the housing and the cable for the rear derailleur and the front brake. It does work super smooth, no friction at all, and each move of my finger on the shifter transfers to let me show you to how our derailleur works. So it is really working good. New housings and new cables is always fun to have on our bike. Now, what should we have in order to make this replacement? We need some cable cutters, of course. These are the original Pro. You don't have to use like really dedicated for bicycles. I would recommend it though, because these are sharp and they will stay sharp for a long time. Another thing is to have some oil. Some people don't use it, I do, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about it just in a minute. Some would use any types of tools to cut the cables. You'd have to be sure that those would be really sharp, and the cable after cutting will look just like this. Really nice cable. Then we will need, of course, some plugs, some caps on for our housings, and the housing itself. Here's the housing for our brakes, and here's the one for shifting. I'm gonna show you the difference. Of course, the one for braking is thicker because the cables for braking are thicker, and also you can see the difference in terms of the structure, the skeleton of it. On the shifting cables, these are like more stiff. These are not that flexible as the braking cables are. Those little steel, the skeleton goes like parallel to the housing, and here we've got such structure, and that's why it will be maybe more difficult to cut and to make it work smooth on our cables. I'm gonna show you that just in a minute. Now, what do we have to know is that it really matters how you guide your cables through the cable guides or housings, and also how long the housing should be. Now, if you have the original ones on your bicycle, that's cool because you're gonna be able to compare those to the new one you're gonna cut, and also you'll be able to, let me just show you, you'll be able to just check whether this length was really good. There were original Shimano housings here on this Focus, but I would change the length of at least some of them. For example, the last part for the rear derailleur, I've made it just a bit longer, and also here the middle part, I think. But as for the brake, I made it shorter. So how long the housing should be? Let me just show you the example. If we're gonna use this part, that's the housing for our rear derailleur cable. This length is just okay, and I'm gonna put it just like it is. Maybe you would like to do it like this, to have maybe shorter housing and think, okay, it will be shorter, so it will be stiffer, it will be just better. Well, not necessarily, because as you can see, the bend on this one is not as sharp as on the original one, and your cable will really have more friction on the longer distance on this housing. If you have a housing like here, the cable will really rub against the housing on this part here. Here it won't touch so much the housing, and also here, if I was to make it just like this, the cable would would really wrap through a whole part of this housing. If it was too long, then it would be too flexy, and instead of shifting, it would be moving from side to side of our housing. So that's something you need some maybe some experience for that, but if you have the original ones, I say this one is okay. I'm gonna just leave it like that. But for the braking housing, if we have the V-brakes here, it's important for your V-brakes to be really stiff, and here, oh, it's good that I did it like that. This housing, in my opinion, is a bit too long, because when I'm gonna be braking, this last part of the housing will move up and down just like this. So I'm gonna make it shorter, like maybe 5 millimeters, not more. But this one is, in my opinion, a bit too long, and it will be too flexy. Another thing is also how to guide those. Now, on the first Cannondale I bought it was in 1997, Cannondale F900. I was really surprised to see that my cables, shifting cables, were crossed under the down tube. And I do it the same for almost all my bikes today as well. But how and why? As you can see, from the right shifter, this housing here is going to the left side of the bike. So the housing from the left shifter, I'm gonna guide through the right side of the bike and then cross those two cables so that my cable will go through this part of housing and to the rear derailleur. Why so? Because just let me show you. If it was to be as it was originally, the cable from the left shifter would go back to the left side, and it makes like two bends, not only like this, but like that too. So it's like two bends, and the cable is trying to move around on the housing, and it's not the best way to guide the cables. I'm always, if possible, I'm always changing it just like that, because those cable crossing here, there's no friction between those cables. And guiding this one, as you can see, it works really nice. There's just one little bend, and that's the best option, at least for myself. That's what I've learned from my old Cannondale, and I'm doing it until now, and it works really, really nice. So what I'm gonna do now is to check how long my housing should be. Let's just take a new housing here. All right. I'm gonna put it to the shifter like that, and then back to the cable guide here. And now it's really good to move around those cables. I can see already that it should go another way. It's good to see how to crisscross those cables here in the front. It's really important here. So I'm gonna do it like this. That's better now. And I think that such length will be just fine. All right. So let's just cut this cable like it is. So that's the length we need. Now we are just taking our cutters and do nice quick cut. Like this. But because all those housing have like the teflon insert inside, you can see that while I'm cutting the housing, I'm also locking or closing this teflon little pipe, so that we need something to open it up. You can use anything that's sharp. I'm using just my old cable. And I'm trying to guide it through those cables, back to those cables. I'm gonna show you that when it comes in. All right, so, and then it's supposed to go out, and it can't. You can hear it's hitting the teflon there, and I'm just pushing more Now you can see it's already through. Now moving it just a bit around on the both sides will open up this Teflon insert, and now I can feel no friction here. All right, now we are just putting those cups, and our first part of the housing will be ready. Great, the first part of our shifting housing is already cut and on its place. I think it also looks nice here. So it comes here to the right cable guide. It will cross the rear shifting cable and go and come here. Now I'm gonna cut this section, this last part of the housing for the front derailleur. If you are using those plugs, new ones, it's okay, but you can also use the old ones, just making sure that they will be clean and there will be no dirt coming from those old ones to your new cable and housing. As you can see, there is some rust on the old one, so it's really good a moment to replace it. And now we are just taking the same length, because I think that one was just okay. So that should be somewhere here. Right guys, I ran out of battery on my camera during cutting this one. So this one is already cut, those caps are on, meaning that our housing for the front derailleur is ready. What we have to do now is to get access to our shifter, so that we can put our cable through. You can see here small little bolt. We're gonna unscrew this one, and then our cable will go through very nicely. It's just plastic little bolt or cup. Okay, what's important now, you have to make sure that you're done with downshifting, because when you upshift, as you can see, this guide for our cable disappears. You can see it right now. Now we are coming with our cable. If it was a road bike, you'd have to make sure whether you have Campagnolo or SRAM Shimano specific shifters, because cables have different ends. This one is just for mountain bikes, so it's okay. What I'm doing now, I would put just a little bit of oil on this one. Now, some riders don't do it. Some riders say that it should be completely dry, but I don't. And if you're buying like a very high quality housings, that would already be lubricated. There will be some kind of lubrication inside. How am I doing it? I'm just putting just a little bit of this oil, synthetic oil finish line. I'm using this one here. So there shouldn't be too much of it, like almost nothing. You just have to feel under your finger that it's very, slippery here. All right, now we're gonna put it through. So it goes through the shifter to our housing here. All right. And now it doesn't always want to go through the housing itself, so we are just taking it off, and then, as you can see, it goes through very nicely. If it doesn't want to go through the housing, you can also remove those caps on the housing, and it will be easier for you. But now it just works for us here, and now we are putting it through the cable guide. All right, and now my system works like this. There will be some crossing here, and same for this part here. I'm going to put just a little bit of oil here. Of course, only on the part that will be in the housing, inside the housing. What would be outside has to be completely dry, so that there will be no dirt on the cable. All right. If the cable touches the ground, your floor, any dirt from the floor, you have to have some kind of cloth just at hand so that you can clean it. As you can see, it doesn't want to go through. Okay, it just went through, but I would be ready to remove this little cap here. It looks just fine. So here and here, we are always making sure that those housings go completely through the guide, and that's it. Now we'll be ready to mount our cable on the derailleur, but now let's just do the same job with our housings for the braking. In the front, I've changed a little bit how those housings go through. The housing for the brake is just like this, so nothing is on its way. It's just very good. And the length of those housings for the braking is also very good in my opinion. So I'm just going to cut exact the same length for the front part of the housing, and this one, the rear one, is a bit too long. That's my opinion. I think that while braking, we'll be moving the last part, this one here, around like from side to side or from the back to the front. So I'm gonna just make it maybe like a ½ inch, 1 point something centimeter shorter. The first part of the housing is already cut. I'm using my old cable to open up the teflon insert, this little pipe, and it's just fine. But I'm going to show you also that for the braking housing, it's very important to pay attention to when we cut it, because it has different skeleton, and sometimes it would be in a way of my cable. So I'm always checking the ending, not only the teflon insert, but the steel skeleton, if you will. I don't know how to call it really. I have to make sure that it's really opened up and nice. Now I'm gonna put some caps on this one and cut the last part. Great, my housings are ready. As you can see, this one is a bit shorter than it was, and I think it will work a bit better as well. And now we are ready to go with our cable through those braking levers. We take the housing off, we just remove it like this. I've already put some lubrication on my cable. This is braking cable, except for this part, which is just under the cover of the lever, because there is some mud and dirt coming in and we don't need any lubrication here. So I just started like here, and it's quite easy for those levers. You simply put it like here. We don't have to go through a whole lever. It has some nice little hole here for our braking cable, and that's it. And now just the housing, and I think that the braking on this bike will be really lovely with those XT brakes. As you can see, oh okay, sometimes it doesn't want to go through, but it went through right now. All right, we don't want to break the cable. We don't want to break it, or make it too much of a bend on it. So I'm just trying to go through all those curves, and there should be no rush here. So we should be doing it very, very slowly. All right, did I want to have this housing go like this? I think I want it like this. All right, so this one goes through, No, I wanted it to go just in the middle here. Sometimes it can be just a bit tricky, but it's not like super complicated. Yeah, that's what I wanted to have here. And now the last part, I'm putting some lube here. So not much, really, not much. All right. Will I be able to go through like this? Now it's just better to take it off. All right. Remember how you wanted the cable to go to be. And this little part. Ready. Okay, so I'm ready to assemble my cable, and I'm gonna show you how it works in a minute. All right, we're done with all the housings and the cables, and I'm very happy that it's really working very nice, both for braking and for shifting. What I want to show you now is that after assembling or fastening those bolts that are assembling our cable, you're gonna have to fasten or tighten the cable after first couple of moves. As you can see, this one here is quite loose now, so just have in mind that you will need to do that. So it just needs some adjustment at the beginning, but after tightening this cable, the shifting will be very crisp. And I'm very happy also with the system I've made here. Some cables are a bit shorter, different guiding of those cables here under the frame, under the top tube. And it's just working good for me. So if you have any further questions, let me know in the comments. If you have some suggestions on how to do it, let me know as well. What I'm going to do will be to cut those cables just as I did and put some caps, some ends on them. There are of course two types of those cable ends. One a bit larger is for the braking cable, and this one smaller, a tiny one, is for the shifting cable. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please, if you like this, give me some thumbs up, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.